I love reviewing the song because it sounds like a dad pool party.
I
Like
was gonna say it sounds like a Gen X barbecue.
it's a Gen X barbecue, or it sounds like they showed up to their kids' barbecues in like some house like Scarborough, and they weren't invited, and they're just standing there going like, "Hey, did anyone say they wanted pina coladas?" And all the kids are just like, "Oh God, like who invited these guys?" All right, here we go.
We're back at it again.
We're back at it again.
Back in business again.
Back in business again. Another episode of the Boys Review. If you guys like our content, you can drop a like. You can leave a comment. We're getting our socials up and running soon. And today we're doing another album review. We are covering Detour de Force by one of our personal favorites, the Barenaked Ladies, Canadian legends, the Barenaked Ladies, or BNL, as we like to call them. And I don't know what I call this album. I think you have a better tell. What did you refer to it as?
A mess. Now I sound really.
No, I know I set you up for that. It sounds cruel, but I didn't mean to.
We should have some context here. I think we both love BNL.
We love BNL.
Yeah. There's some people who don't like BNL, but we're proud Canadians.
Yeah.
We love BNL. And we grew up with them on the radio. They're like heroes. So I can never give them a complete 0 on an album, but this album is just it's 2 albums in one. It's really 2 albums in one. We'll go over to that more, but it's trying to either be this like overproduced pop album, like one last hurrah, one last claim at the charts, and then the other half is like this folky, stripped back, maybe
sentimental,
more mature album.
Yeah,
that you don't usually see from these guys, but they combine the two, and that's not all their fault. Supposedly, I was reading it's because of COVID. Like they were recording the pop stuff before, and then they listened to it and they're like, "Oh, I don't know about this.
I don't know.
Let's record the rest of it in our cabin, in Ed Robertson's cabin." So that's why half of it sounds different. I don't know why they didn't just fully commit to doing full cabin recording.
I know what you mean, because
those are the songs I like the most on the album.
I know. I get the sense too. It's like some of it is very upbeat, and then the rest is just kind of sad. Like I kind of like some of the slower numbers on it, but they seem a little self-indulgent and sad.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of albums, because a lot of albums we're gonna review are ones that are kind of covered during the pandemic, and you can kind of hear it, like just a few musicians kind of just stuck together, or like recording parts in different places and kind of throwing them together. But yeah, we love the Barenaked Ladies, and that's why when I saw this came out, I was like, we should review this. And it's a mixed bag for me too. I don't know if I call it a mess, but it's a mixed bag. So I guess we'll just go ahead and start with the first track, Flip. Flips, they're arguably the best song on the album.
Yeah, I think so too. But I also think it would have actually also benefited from just stripped back production. Like the production value on the song kind of ruins it a little bit for me. Like I still really like it. I agree. It is probably the best and catchiest song on the album. Closest thing to like retro BNL. But it's so overproduced. It's like mechanical. It's not like it's like lacking in any soul whatsoever. Those whoa backing vocals.
Oh gosh.
Whoa. It's like, could you be any more like Billboard Top 100? Like
I know. I got that sense too. It sounds like very like corporate, like overproduced, kind of like Toronto rock. I think it's Toronto. We love Toronto, but
it does sound like Toronto.
I think even Torontonians can admit, with a shred of self-deprecation, it sounds very Toronto. It sounds like Drake was like recording across the hall from them or something. There's no. Flip is just like their feel good, like happy single, because that's what I like about BNL is that they're good at putting like upbeat, up tempo numbers out, and I think it's pretty good. It's when we get into The Good Life that it's like it's where it kind of drops a little bit. You're like, okay, you know what, this album started good, then you move on to Good Life, and like, whoa, okay, I don't know how I feel about this anymore. Because I just feel like it's the way Good Life opens. Like it's the whoa, the weird whoa in the beginning.
There's woes in the first 3 songs. There's woes. It's like, guys,
tone it down a little bit.
Tone it down. Yeah, tone it down a bit.
And they're
Like
even
you
good.
You can tell those were like pre-COVID. Like they were like,
yeah,
whoa, 2020 is gonna be great. Like it's just
yeah, exactly. And they're a little bit. I don't know who's doing the beginning of Good Life. I'm not sure if it's like Tyler Stewart, but it sounds really forced. Sounds like it's like they do a bit of rapping, but
oh no, the rap is so bad. The rap is so bad. Like there's some charm to this song. Like it's seriously, it's very meta and autobiographical. It's clearly about the band. Yeah, and like how they've stayed together through it all. I don't know if it's really referencing Stephen Page leaving or anything. Yeah, but they say 1 week in there and how it was like their hits.
Yeah,
and so that's kind of charming. But oh my gosh, that rap. I mean, Ed Robinson was never supposed to be like a great rapper, but like, oh man,
I know it's painful. I think it's just maybe we're at the point where it's like we don't want to hear about how great your life is, like, it's been kind of a rough period, but I guess it's like very self-congratulatory. That's
it's like, you know what, good for us, we've been doing this for 30 years, it's a good life.
And they're not known for that. They're not known for being a band that would brag about their success. They've always stayed true to themselves, which is kind of what you like about them. So that's why Good Life just seems kind of out of character for them.
I don't know if it was like the reunion that changed them. Like I was reading about the reunion, the Junos reunion, where they all came together.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe they got like a little nostalgic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I read that like Ed Robertson and had to go into like therapy after that. Like he was like brought up a lot of like old times and
old times.
Like, oh wow. Because I was always a lot. Yeah, and I always thought like Stephen Page leaving was kind of weird and didn't really say a lot about it, but I don't know, they were magical together, but I don't know, maybe it was like a toxic relationship kind of thing. So yeah, no,
it's possible. I don't know, it's not great, but it's where we move on to like New Disaster, where it's like, I guess this was like their COVID song they had to put out kind of, and I felt it was endearing at first because it was kind of like depicting how we're just living in this state of fear and like how exhausting, like as serious as like the whole, scope it is, it's just super intense. And it's like, we just feel like it's just a never ending wave of fear coming at us. But it's the woe part in there again. Another woe. And also it sounds a lot like Zombie. It sounds very,
I never noticed that.
Derivative. Like the chord progression sounds very derivative of Zombie by the Cranberries. Which is why at first I'm like, I kind of like the song, it speaks to me, but then I heard it this morning and something just, it was like, this just feels really disingenuous and off,
Yeah, it's kind of, it's like trying to say something without really saying anything at all.
It feels like, very forced.
It's like news bad, whoa,
yeah, that's it.
It's like, and I don't know, it's something against BNL. I don't want socio-political commentary from them. It just
no, I mean neither.
It doesn't
jive with them. So anyways, move on to Big Backyard, and that is funny because you're more familiar with that's this side of BNL because this is their more children's music kind of side, or
yeah, it sounds a lot like something out of like Snack Time, their children's album.
It's the way it opens. It's like Kevin Hearn being like, all I ever wanted was a big backyard with the rhumbarb and where my brothers could play outside.
It's Rudy.
So like Ontario. It's almost painfully Ontario.
It almost sounds a little Winnipeg, but
it does though. It just sounds like very rural, like countryside Ontario, which is cool. I love that part of Ontario and Manitoba. But
at first, it is funny. Like it is.
It is.
But there's kind of a charm to it. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a great song, but it's charming.
It's got some charm to it. I agree.
And like I kind of wish the album had gone more in this direction, actually.
Mhm.
Like a little more like pastoral, country folky.
Country folky.
Because they started off as folk, so it'd be cool to like see them.
Well, that's what I like about the track, because I was like, as much as I laughed at how like goofy it was.
The intro. I mean, the intros are pretty funny.
Because there's a goofiness that like the Barenaked ladies have, where they don't take themselves seriously, where you just kind of like, you're in on the joke, but then there's the like, when they get really goofy, you're like, whoa, I'm actually just like laughing at them, like not with them. Like they've out sillied themselves, you know.
Yeah.
Not much else I can really like think about with Big Backyard. I think it's just the intro. I think if you listen to this album, just at least give the intro a chance, because it's gonna make you laugh. It's really funny. And then move on to Live Well.
I like this one actually.
Yeah, me too.
It's not. Yeah, it's not. I don't know. It's not. There's not really a hook or a premise to it. Really great B&L tracks are like, oh, this is really catchy, and then you're like, oh, that's what it's actually about. This one's just kind of like, life is hard. And it's all about picking yourself back up.
Yeah,
just not very. Yeah, it's not a unique take at all. But I like the playing again. It's more like pastoral and folky and
organic.
like,
Exactly. It feels very organic, which is what I really dig about this album. Is it feels like everyone kind of like, nobody dominates each other in this album. Everyone has their own room to breathe. And,
it sounds like a bunch of buddies like playing in a cabin together.
Exactly.
The first 3 tracks are like, why did they do this?
And I find that hook kind of catchy, because I'm alive, but doesn't mean I live well. It just means I've got back every time I fell. It really it kind of speaks to me, you know. Like I like that. It's in some ways it feels like a second parter to Good Life, but I think it's like
better.
Yeah,
it's a little more real. Good Life is like, you know,
it was like,
I had a hit single on the radio.
We're rich now.
How do you relate to that?
No, I know. Again, which is like what the Barenaked Ladies are known for, being super relatable. So they have Flat Earth, and it's a decent number. It's like a slower number. I think it's just about how like Ed Robinson went to get his haircut, and he heard some dude talking about like how the
I
Earth
thought it was a
flat.
lady. I don't know.
That's what I heard in an interview, and it's like about he's like, well, we have to engage, conspiracy theorists over like flat Earth like theories, and it's like, okay. Yeah, I like the synth part. I like the piano part. Like, it's kind of catchy.
Yeah, you know what I like about that? Actually, it's clever. Is the melody is almost "Pop Goes the Weasel." It's like "Pop Goes the Weasel," which I actually thought was pretty clever, because it's kind of like, if you try and tell a conspiracy theorist, like, give them some facts, they're just gonna like pop back up and just spew out the same thing they just said.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty clever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a flimsy idea for a song. It's just
Yeah. Well, you know what? Actually, so on the next one, I was gonna say "Here Together." It turns out that Jim Cregan did voice that one. Yeah,
I don't really. To be honest, that one just kind of goes in one ear, one out the other. Like, it sounds nice.
It's got a sweet little melody to it. That's why I kind of like it actually. It's very sincere, which is where I don't know. I guess we to the point of the album where it's just like, it's kind of mediocre, like it's a cute little number.
This album's just too long. It's another problem. It's like,
I know we're not even at like track.
They should have made one album, and it should have been the cabiny feel of these like 4 guys just being silly and hanging out, but like peppered with a little bit of gray hair in there, like, no.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
No, I know. And then we move on to Rollout. Oh boy.
This is like the worst song in the album. Oh no.
It just jumps right at you with the horn section, like
it's so hokey. Oh,
this is my favorite. Like, I love reviewing the song because it sounds like a dad pool party. Like,
I was gonna say it sounds like a Gen X barbecue.
It's a Gen X barbecue, or it sounds like they showed up to their kids' barbecues in like some house like Scarborough, and they weren't invited, and they're just standing there going like, "Hey, did anyone say they wanted pina coladas?" and all the kids are just like, oh god, like who invited these guys? It's
Yeah.
painful. It's so painful.
And the what is it? The gonna kiss my dust.
Oh gosh. It's the most excruciatingly dad thing ever. Kiss my dust. I haven't heard that since like 2003.
That's like something you would say to like your kid when you don't want to swear at them. You're like,
Yeah.
well, you sir, you can kiss my dust.
Yeah.
It sounds like.
Yeah, or it sounds like a line from Recess or something. Like, oh yeah, you can kiss my dust.
Or like
Or like Recess or
Recess,
Arnold
wow.
or something. Or
wow, we're dating ourselves.
Oh
Some
yeah, or Doug.
millennial cartoons here.
Millennial cartoon. And then we went to Bylaw. You know what?
You know what? This one actually grew on me at
Yeah.
first. Yeah, it's pretty silly, but I think it's kind of knowing. It's one where it does, yes, it does sound like again, dad rock a little bit. But I like that it's just this guy yelling at construction workers at 7 a.m.
Me too.
because he has because it's like the bylaw that they're allowed to do that, and that's like
Yeah.
the whole song. I think that's gonna.
It's cute because it reminds me of like my sister when she once got mad and she woke up and like it was like it's so early. Are you really gonna like jackhammer at like 7 o'clock in the morning? And when I heard that, I was like, oh my god, Kevin Hearn, like he's onto something here. I've seen this before. It's cute, but I was gonna say something. I'm glad I remember this because there's two things that Roll Out and Wake Up Kevin have in common. It's just really cringy.
Bylaw.
Yeah, sorry, Bylaw.
Yeah, but Wake Up Kevin's kind of like the
main hook.
lyric.
But in Rollout, there's one part where Ed Robertson just goes, "We could drive around in circles, and then they do that. They do a similar kind of thing in Bylaw. It's like 7-Eleven 777.
I don't know. Maybe these two songs are supposed to complement each other, but
maybe it's like a concept or something. They just go one after the other. Okay, so that's pretty much for Bylaw. They have God Forbid, and I mean, what do you think of this? Because you told me that like this is where they admit that they're atheists, but
yeah, okay. So this one I thought was interesting. Again, bit of a flimsy premise for a song, and that it's like, oh, it's about saying the phrase, the idiom, God forbid, but a lot of people don't believe in God, so why do we still say that? That's kind of a weird premise for a song. But yeah, it also shocked me to be like, oh wow, Barenaked Ladies are saying that they're atheists. I mean, maybe I'm reading that too much into that. Maybe he's just playing a character there. But I was like, ooh, religion doesn't really come into BNL very often either. But yeah, it's kind of boring. I don't really remember a lot about it.
It comes off as being very trite. I find like a lot of tracks on this, very very trite.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's a clever idea, but does it really need to be a 4-minute song? No.
No,
really.
No, I don't think so either. I think it's easily one of the weaker numbers on the album. And then and move on to Paul Chambers. So who is Paul Chambers? Why is it called Paul Chambers? Like, do you know what? Like, I think like you know this track better than me. Do you know? Or
I not really. I don't know what this is about at all. Jim Cregan sings on this one again. I don't know who Paul Chambers is at all. But I like that it's jazzy. I know that Jim Cregan's like a jazz guy.
Yeah. Some kind of jazziness is like
and like some of their earlier Gordon era stuff has jazz in it. So it was I like that. I like when Ugin BNL goes back to their like jazz roots.
Yep.
Not really much to say about it. I just like the vibe
it kind of continues from there, honestly. The forget of sheer it's just not
which is
memorable.
Weird. It's weird for BNL because they're like pretty known for their lyrics and their premises and silliness. So when they have songs that are just kind of like cryptic, it's weird.
I know. I don't know what to think of it. I don't know what to make of it. Like I hear it and I'm like, okay, is this some sort of deeper message about faith or God or religion? I really don't know. I don't know either. But at least, so when we went to National Park, it's another sad number, but I like the part where he just repeats the darkness over and over again. I don't know what it is. It's just kind of
There's something about
Kind of soothing.
I'm not the person who came up with this, but I read a few reviews, and everyone's like, "Oh, Kevin Hearn sounds like Peter Gabriel." And when you hear it, you're like, "Oh, he kind of does." Like his voice is thinner, but he definitely has that. I don't know, the way he enunciates is very Peter Gabriel.
He does have that raspiness to his. He's kind of like a geeky Canadian Peter Gabriel.
When they need him for like, I don't know, something weirder like that, he works really well. So I like him in that song.
I'm glad that they gave him. You know what? I don't know like much of their previous albums, but I'm glad they really. I know what their best albums are, but I've never heard Kevin Hearn really.
Well, he basically took over for. I mean, he's been in the band for since 1995. So
it's funny because I don't remember seeing him much in the band, but he's been around since like.
Well, after
the last one,
after Stephen Page left, he was like, okay, he took over like rhythm guitars and singing and stuff like that. So yeah.
So we have Man-Made Lake. I don't know. Honestly, Man-Made Lake and Internal Dynamo, I don't really know what they are.
Man-Made Lake is just kind of one ear and whatnot the other again. At this point, I'm like, guys, edit. Just get rid of some of this. It doesn't need to be 55 minutes.
Just trim it down. I agree. It just goes in one or the other at that point. Internal Dynamo is like 2 songs in one. It's like,
Eternal Dynamo is bad. It's just so bad. And like it's a mess of a song.
Yeah.
And I was reading that it's like, and I've seen BNL live, so I get what they're trying to do. Supposedly this is like a live track almost, like like, oh, let's play Kevin Hearn playing his song, and then we're gonna have this crazy rock song over it, which would be really fun live. But on an album, it doesn't make any sense. Like,
I know
it makes no sense at all, and I can't remember anything about it. It's just anyway.
I know. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the album. Honestly, just an album that I can't really say much more about, but I will say my favorites Flip. I just like Rollout for just the sheer hilarity of it. Bylaw, Here Together, Live Well is pretty cool. Big Backyard, and National Park, but the rest I'm not super crazy about. I think Flip deserves to be like on like an end of year playlist. Like if you're making a 2021 playlist, Flip should go in there for sure.
Oh, I'm gonna offend you. I just took it off mine because I couldn't decide. I was like, what is it?
What did you choose? The Good Life?
No, I didn't put any of it on there. Which is really bad. It's just like, I don't know. I'm one of those people that like, I love BNL, but I do believe that when Stephen Page left, a lot of the magic. I'm not one of those people who think, oh, Stephen Page is a band or anything. I just think him and Ed Robertson's like chemistry really made him special. Not that they don't have great songs after that, like they do. And Flip, I would definitely put in like an overall best of Barenaked Ladies. Like it's the closest to a highlight on here. The production just ruins it for me a little bit. Like the whoas, I can't.
It's
anyway,
the pandemic album,
but not to be negative. There's some good stuff on here, like Live Well and Flip, and I like Paul Chambers a little bit. Rollout is definitely memorable in all the wrong ways. And Big Backyard, I kind of like. I don't know. It's
charming. The intro to Big Backyard.
I really think if they had stuck to like something folkier, that could have been really cool. But they didn't, and it's just like a mess, and it's not, I don't know, not cohesive at all.
No, I would agree with you on that. Not one of my favorite albums, but some good one. I think the pandemic didn't really do them any favors.
No, probably not. No. But they could have waited. Like they don't owe us anything. They're Barenaked Ladies. They can put an album out when they want. Exactly.
They just want to do something in the meantime.
But I give it positive. I know I'm all like, oh, BNL is not the same. If you ever get to see them live, they're still a great live band. So if they want to keep making albums just so they can go on tour,
I'm
fun
okay
to
with
me.
that.
That's
I'm good.
totally fun to
I
me.
haven't seen them yet, so more reason for me to go
Yeah,
see
they're
them.
one of those bands that like just put out albums. I don't care if they're bad.
Yeah,
As
that's
long
it.
as you didn't go out. Are we rating this on
Yeah,
a score? What's the score on this?
I rated some 7 out of 10. It's a
Oh
70.
damn, I'm such a jerk.
You going lower?
I'm giving it a 4.
That's okay. That's okay.
And I'm
That's
being
fine.
generous. That's bad. No.
Really?
Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay. No. Okay. I'll give it a 4. If you like Barenaked Ladies, maybe a 5. Like I'd give it.
That's a
5.
40% on an exam
But if
there.
like if
That's-
you did not like Barenaked Ladies and someone showed you this, you would not walk away with a good impression. So
yeah, I could
4
see
out of
that.
10 it is. Sorry, BNL.
Better luck
Still
next time.
Still love you.
All right, so I think we're past our time. It's been a good one, and if you guys have any comments, just leave us one down below, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Yeah.
Have a good one.